Earning respect is about sticking to your convictions and making the best decisions possible. There's a difference between being liked and being respected. Ideally, you'll be both. In this video, we will teach you how to make people respect you at the first glance. You want to be respected, but you're not sure how this whole thing works. The key here is to stop focusing on yourself and start thinking about others. How can you help others? How can you inspire change, growth, and innovation? When you think about the people you respect deeply, what do they do differently from the average person? The worst thing you can do to yourself is, as soon as you become known as a person who can't be trusted to keep their word, it's one of the quickest ways to lose respect. To avoid such, let your actions speak louder than your words. One great way to lose people's respect: walking around telling them how great you are. Don't let your ego get in the way. Help others when they need it. Let's say you know a coworker is having a hard time finishing a particular project. If you can't be of help, you might recommend that they talk to someone in another department with the appropriate skill set. Ask for help when you need it. People will be more inclined to trust you if you display occasional vulnerability. Say what you mean. Being honest and direct is a really important component of respect. We don't tend to respect people who are vague or wishy-washy. If your conversation partner doesn't quite agree with your position, the key is being direct in a constructive way. Always strive to do better. You never want to find yourself settling for the lowest common denominator. Instead, you should always be searching for a better way to do your work. Admit to your mistakes. Regardless of your position at your company or organization, it's crucial to take ownership of your work and your missteps. Don't make excuses for things when something's gone off the rails. A study ran that found that 91% of employees said they were more satisfied with their job when their boss admitted to mistakes. Be able to laugh at yourself. Surveys that found leaders who practice self-effacing humor tend to be more respected at the workplace. I often say how ironic it is that people who take themselves overly seriously, we tend not to take those people very seriously. Show kindness. Nobody respects bullies. Nobody respects a pushy person. Being kind can be as simple as saying good morning to your coworkers, or asking about something big that's going on in their personal lives. Be willing to change your mind. Be open to hearing other people's perspectives and potentially changing your mind based on what you've learned. Always do your best to listen well. People's favorite bosses are typically the best listeners. Respondents have said things like, "I get the sense that when I'm talking, I'm the only person in the room." See the good in everything and everyone. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Try to find the silver lining in every challenging situation. If you're known for having a positive attitude, you'll earn people's respect. Give credit where it's due. This behavior is especially important for leaders. Be the type of boss who uses the term "we" instead of "I" and means it. Surveys have consistently found that employees appreciate when their efforts are recognized and praised. Know what you stand for in life. Find 2 or 3 values that are important to you and never compromise on them. When people see that you stick to your principles, even if they disagree with those principles, they'll think, "I respect you still for holding your ground." Be relentlessly proactive. Don't always wait for direction from others. Use your skills and resources to start getting things done and solve problems. Get in the habit of figuring things out for yourself. Don't be afraid of a challenge once in a while. Keep your promises. This is by far one of the most important actions you can take to start gaining respect. If you took commitments lightly in the past, don't do that anymore. Always honor commitments and promises. If you find yourself having a lot of trouble with that, it means you make too many promises you can't keep. Stop apologizing. People who are constantly saying, "I'm sorry," without giving it a second thought are usually not the ones that are well respected. There's a time and place for apologies. Sometimes you make mistakes that affect family and friends. you can apologize to them. Meanwhile, stop using the word sorry 100 times an hour for every little thing that goes wrong, especially in the workplace. Don't waste other people's time. If you respect others' time, they will respect yours. This includes not being late for appointments, not spending meetings talking about useless items, getting to the point fast, bringing up issues right away, being succinct, and of course, making it easier for others to make decisions, especially when they are busier than you. Stop gossiping immediately. Always act as if the person you're talking about is right there with you. You need to respect others, even if you don't like them. Everyone has desirable and undesirable traits. Realize this and talk from this fundamental belief. If you talk behind people's backs, you and your reputation will quickly become irrelevant. Stop being too nice. Distinguish kindness from always having to do things for people. Trying to make everyone happy won't get you very far. Being a pushover is highly undesirable if your goal is to be respected. If you're too nice to everyone all the time, some people might even think you're not genuine. Practice humility. You're not always going to be right, and you're not the best at everything. Every person you meet can teach you something. Confidence doesn't come from a place where you're the best. True confidence comes from understanding humility, and that every person has something unique to offer to the world, including you. Have a moral code. Many overlook this important little piece of advice. What do you believe in? What's important to you? What makes you mad and want to change the world? These kinds of questions will get you to the core of your moral code. Figure it out and share it with the world in small amounts. All the great leaders of the world had a clear moral code. Be open-minded. The other extreme of having a moral code is to remain open-minded. Being open-minded is not complicated, nor is it in conflict with having a moral code. It simply means that you acknowledge that you still have so much to learn, and you continue learning from others, even if you have a strong core belief system. Add real value. Whether you're part of a community, a company, a group of friends, or a team, you will be respected if you always think of ways to offer value to others. Value can come in many forms, but in the end, it's all about offering something to the world or your community that can help by solving a problem for them. If you create something of value, people will respect you. Always do your homework. This means doing diligence. When you're interviewing someone, do background research and find out everything you need to know to make an effective interview. When you're going to a job interview, make sure you've done your homework about the company and know what their needs are. When you're talking to friends, listen and retain information from the conversations and remember things that they care about for the next time. Be inspiring. You can be inspiring by talking to others about your passions and goals without holding back. You can be inspiring by endlessly encouraging others to follow their dreams, goals, and visions, and showing that you have faith in them. Learn to say no. Don't feel guilty about saying no once in a while. Don't worry about missed opportunities either. You don't need to agree to everything that someone asks from you, especially if it is a superior or a client. Sometimes you are more respected by saying no, rather than agreeing to do a thing. When you say no, you show you're not afraid of admitting that you value your time and that you don't have time for everything. Don't believe in self-talk. If you want others to respect you, of course, it's obvious that you need to respect yourself. It's not always easy, as we all have our bad days. On those days, you will experience negative self-talk. Don't believe it. Remember your strengths and learn from your mistakes. Confidence comes from knowing that failure and imperfection are the paths to greatness. We are very sure this video has been very helpful to you. Give it a thumbs up and be sure you've subscribed. See you in the next video.